Hello again and welcome back to some climbing news. Lots of stuff to talk about today, so let's just get the show started. So to begin, Zach Galla. Dude, Zach Galla, climbing world was a little too quiet for something big to not have been a brewing out there, and boy were my instincts correct. Zach, my main man Galla, who's not my main man at all because I don't know him personally, has just reported on the gram that he sent Shaolin under the freaking full moon. So, I mean, okay, that's just some mystical ass shit right there. Look, if Dave Graham's a wizard, Zach sending under the full moon makes him what, like a werewolf? That's dope. Werewolves are cool, or at least they can be. I mean like a cool werewolf, you know, like not that Twilight Taylor what's his face bullshit. Though to be honest, Zach's kind of low-key got that version in the bag too. Ben Wheeler was definitely not wrong about that. God damn. Anyways, totally objectifying Zach aside, dude sent Shaolin 9A V17. It took him quite a while apparently too. He reportedly was trying the boulder a ton last season, managed to do the big moves at the end very, very quickly, even linking them together in ISO and having the whole damn thing so dialed. He was actually just confused as to why he kept, not doing it. And honestly, man, I actually completely understand that. I'm sure it's happened to most of you too, just with lower numbers than Zach. You can do the moves every time, but for whatever reason, just can't put it together, even though it almost feels easy because it's so freaking dialed. I get it. I've been there. I think we all have. Not letting that get to your head, though, is not easy. And honestly, gotta give props to Zach for sticking with the freaking climb for as long as he did. Dude apparently fumbled the last move over 25 times on Sengo's last season. That's frustrating as shit. But hey, perseverance or whatever. 4 sessions this season and wham bam shamalam, he was standing on top of Shaolin howling under the full moon. A real powerful let's fucking go woo, or probably, I don't know. I also can't howl for shit because I'm not a werewolf like Zach. We'll have to wait for the video. Congrats on the first 9A to Zach. May it be the first of many. I'm very excited to see what Mello comes up with to, show this thing, actually. I bet the footage is pretty fucking dope. Especially if they actually get the moon in there, that'd be awesome. Anyways, move on. And then let's talk the IFSC, which has changed their name to World Climbing, because their new mission statement is that they get the world climbing. And so now their logo is the world made up of climbing holds. And, there's a lot to commend about this thing. I love it. I love it. I mean, it's a really well-drawn circle. Whoever had their 7-year-old kid come up with this concept should be super, super, super proud of them. I'd give them an A+ on their little project. It's fantastic stuff. The kid nailed it. I mean, the whole thing about the biggest climbing organization in the world being in the unique position to bring climbing to the world it's exactly the kind of perspective and in-depth idea that I could only expect from a second grader that's at the very tippy top of their class. It's awesome, really well done. And the logo, they even went so far as to put bolt holds on there. They're, not at all where you would ever see bolt holds on any hold, ever. Except for the speed climbing holds, those they definitely got right, which makes me wonder, did the team these people hire have zero climbing experience whatsoever, so the only thing that they looked up were the speed climbing holds? Is that what happened? They didn't realize they were making a mistake with the other ones until they'd already made it? Does it kind of feel like Grok maybe doesn't really know anything about climbing? Because it feels a little AI-y, whatever. Look, in case it's not clear, I hate this stupid thing, okay? Zoom the logo out and you can't tell what the fuck you're looking at. If the purpose of this thing is for it to be instantly recognizable, no one who isn't already climbing is gonna know what the fuck those blotches are supposed to even represent, an issue that's compounded twofold when we look at the monochromatic versions. And then they chose a sans serif font so run-of-the-mill and ordinary it makes the teacher from Ferris Bueller look like the most animated motherfucker on the planet. On top of that, World Climbing, kind of an idiotic name when literally every single sporting association on the planet has very recognizable acronyms. NBA, NFL, MLB, FIFA, UEFA, CONCACAF, NHL, freaking ATP or ITF, WSL, ICC, IGF, the list goes on and on. And while it's true you also have certain international sports governing bodies that are called world, and then the sport, like World Rugby, World Skate, or World Sailing, This decision signifies, at least to me, a pretty big fucking problem, which is that instead of thinking about climbers and the people who are already in the sport and appealing to them through the sport and climbing's culture itself, the IFSC is instead opting to change things in order to cater to people who have no idea about it, alienating climbers while at the same time making it so anyone who's new won't be able to recognize what's so freaking special about it. What I mean is, just look at the logo, okay? Clearly designed by people who are not climbers. Bolt holes in the wrong spot. You know how we usually say buy X for X? This is the opposite of that. And it signifies a continuation of that same mentality which we've seen in, especially, for example, broadcasts from the IFSC. Why do we constantly miss important moments in every single World Cup at an incredibly consistent level? It's not because the camera people are morons with fingers up their noses and butts. It's because the people producing this shit aren't climbers. They have no idea what is and isn't interesting unless they're told that that's the case. And so we, the climbers who do know what is and isn't interesting, suffer for it. You guys remember that one scene in the first Jurassic Park when they do the little ride at the beginning and it's like super cutesy with Mr. DNA and, you know, clearly made for kids as a welcome to Jurassic Park kind of thing? You guys remember how you, as the audience, got the gist of how they made the dinosaurs incredibly quickly? It's great. It's awesome exposition. It's fun. It's, in theory, would leave future guests at the park feeling happy that they know how the dinos were cloned. But do you also remember this part right after?
Unfertilized Eve, your ostrich egg. And it's no...
Wait a minute, how do you interrupt the cellular mitosis?
Can't we see the unfertilized eggs?
Chocolate.
Now, a whole team of genetic engineers goes to work on the...
Can't you stop these things? I'm sorry, it's kind of a ride.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, how do they interrupt the cellular mitosis? That's the thing. It shouldn't be surprising that the scientists in the movie don't want a dumbed down version of the process of creating a T-Rex, just like we as climbers are gonna have sore superior oblique muscles from rolling our eyes after being subjected to Matt Grom explaining to the people at home what a crimp is for the millionth goddamn time. Nothing against Matt. I think he's doing a great job. But unfortunately, his job is soon going to be more about bringing new people in who don't know anything about the sport, instead of making sure that the people who already care about the sport itself enjoy themselves as much as possible. Climbers, we don't want to feel like we're Dr. Sattler, Grant, and Malcolm forced on a ride made for other people by an overtly egotistical idiot with too much money. We want to get off, no pun intended, or pun very much intended. We want to see the unfertilized eggs. And listen, don't get me wrong, this isn't about gatekeeping. I love that climbing is getting bigger. It's great for the people in climbing, it's great for the athletes in climbing, it's good for me personally too. I mean, this channel kind of sort of depends on it. My issue isn't with the idea that the IFSC is trying to expand, it's with the way they're doing it. They're dumbing things down. They're talking about climbing culture while at the same time ignoring it altogether in favor of what they think will appeal most to people who don't actually care about the sport yet. And they're hiring people who've never even climbed before, which I'll let Robin Williams take over here for a second.
Listen, you do not know shit about fuck, my man.
Look, when I first started climbing freaking 11 years ago, holy shit, dude, wow, my God. This was one of the first climbing videos I ever watched. Adam Andra and Chris Sharma locking in on La Dura Dura, the hardest route in the world. And it was awesome. For someone who had just started climbing, there was so much to fucking unpack. It was almost overwhelming. I mean, they were talking about pinches, Gaston, Dead Point, Waco, Adam and Chris screaming their nuts off. Holy shit. It was so cool. I didn't know who these two were. I didn't know what 515 was. I didn't know what the hell an intermediate was. But the point is that when I was watching it for the first time, I felt like I was being introduced to a whole new world. Like I was discovering something completely different and unique and cool. It made me feel awesome to be able to go back to the gym and show off my new vocabulary to the people I'd just met. It made me feel like I was becoming a part of something on my own. And that's what the IFSC is royally fucking up, in my opinion. In trying to hold people's hands through the discovery process, you don't actually let them discover anything. It's actually one of the reasons I started this channel, do things the way I do them. Because a part of me kept feeling like a lot of the media out there had started to move away from the by climbers for climbers thing and was actually kind of ruining the whole mystique of it. But I don't know, man, this has turned into a really really long ass ramp for whatever reason. I have no idea if my opinions hold up at all, if the IFSC is gonna, keep moving away from including climbers in their production and stuff like that. It just kind of seems like that's their intention, or this move kind of seems to point them in that direction. I don't know. It's all pure speculation, to be honest. So I'm just gonna have to ask what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Am I reading way too much into it? Let me know. And then, talking about changes to the climbing world, the Pro Climbing League was announced a few weeks ago, and I completely missed that somehow. I'm not sure what's been going on. Whole thing says that it's by climbers for climbers, which hilariously enough was like the whole friggin' thesis of that past section. So in case you missed it, the Pro Climbing League is basically a new comp series that uses a totally different formula that's not actually all that different or new. Essentially, the idea is that it pits two climbers against each other at the same time, doing identical boulder problems in a 3-round knockout format. Kinda like, I'm assuming, the old super finals of the Adidas Rockstars competition that stopped happening back in like 2019. But this is super new stuff in that it's just a lot more of that. Basically, first round, the climbers do 3 boulders with a 4+ minute time limit. Whoever climbs most of those boulders moves on to the next round. Whoever climbs the fastest of them is used as a tiebreaker in case they climb the same number of boulders. You get the idea. Round 2, you do the same, but with only 1 boulder, and then the finals is done with 2 separate boulders. Easy money. Never before seen. I'm giving the marketing a lot of shit, but I'm actually very excited about this. The super finals of the Adidas Rockstars was extremely fun to watch, and I can't wait to see something like this. I think it's going to be way more interesting than a lot of the stuff that we've seen. Apparently the first venue is going to be in London, February 28th. It's going to be like a series that kind of moves around the world. It will feature Toby Roberts and Janja Garnbret. It seems like they've partnered with Red Bull TV. So yeah, I'll be giving you guys more info as we get closer to the dates, because that's all I really know for the moment. I'm not really sure if it's going to be as big of a pain in the ass as watching the IFSC for anybody who's, outside the US. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think. Are you stoked for this? Are you not? Pretty curious. And then let's talk about Matilda Soderlund. Did I say that right? Whatever. Getting the first female ascent of Spomen 8C 514B in Paklenica, Croatia. Now, for those of you who don't know, Spomen is a 10-pitch long route. It's about 350 meters long, which is it's long. I don't know what that is in American. It's a whole bunch of feet, like definitely in the thousands, like lots and lots of feet. Anyways, Spomen climbs an incredibly overhung section of a pretty famous mountain called Aničakuk. It was first freed in 2017 by Luka Kranic and has since been repeated by... Okay, who is like the one guy I could say that not a single person here would be surprised by? Or like, maybe not surprised that he was able to do it, but like surprised that he went out of his way to climb. It's Adam Ondra. Of course it's Adam Ondra. Like, who else would it be? Dude's climbed freaking everything. He's everywhere. Also, it was repeated by Jerne Kruder and now Matilda, who first tried it back in 2023, but who felt like she wanted to come back to lead every pitch in the day. And yeah, man, that's exactly what she did. As I said, 10 pitches. Hardest one is 8C, which is 514B. Lots of moderate climbing to go around, lots of hard stuff in the middle. Am I really about to list all 10 of them? Sure. It goes, get your notes ready, 6C, 6C, 8A plus 8C, 8B plus 8A plus 7A, 7B plus 6A, and 5. Did you get that? I will translate this one to freedom units against my better judgment. Here goes. 511B, 511B, 513C, 514B, 514A, 513C, 511D, 512C, 510A-ish. The conversions are weird. And then 59-ish. But like modern 5.9, not one of those ridiculous 5.9s from the 60s when people refused to accept the Yosemite decimal system was going to have like 5.10, and so they sandbagged the shit out of each other, so it's more like 5.12 or whatever. But yeah, so about 14 hours for Matilda and her partner to do this whole thing, which really puts the whole entire nose in a day on El Cap into wild perspective. Like, yeah, the nose is slightly easier in theory, but it's also 31 pitches instead of 10. That's 3 times as much climbing. Like, I'm not trying to take away from Matilda's send, by the way. I'm just saying, like, Matilda's a beast, but Lynn Hill was a fucking monster. Jesus. But yeah, dude, huge congratulations to Matilda, who decided to dedicate her ascent to her dad. It's awesome stuff to see the ladies getting adventurous with it. Love to see it. And then Stefano Carnati has sent Ultimo Tango a Zagarollo, a 9A plus route in Grotti, Italy, which he took 2 days to send and subsequently downgraded to hard 9A. He's also said something about a potential slash grade, but I'm just going to ignore that because there's no such fucking thing. Okay, slash grades are stupid. It's dumb. I don't care. Anyways, this route is your typical super duper overhung pockety limestone roof that then goes vertical. We've seen that shit all over Southern Europe. It's not a surprise. It is that not new. A hard 10 move boulder that culminates in a jump to a deep 2-finger pocket that apparently Stefano pulled a little too hard on, and which actually left tendons in his fingers feeling incredibly sore for the next few days. Kind of wild that happened. Sucks it did, but he's also all good and he's sent, so it doesn't really matter. Everything's gonna be okay. Big congrats to Stefano Carnati. Now we gotta move on and to talk about another Stefano. In this case, Ghisolfi, who announced on the internet that he will be trying Gioia again. That's the story. There's not a lot happening in the climbing world this week for whatever reason. I'm reduced to this dude is trying a rock at this point. Weird. You think like middle of winter people would be climbing hard shit, but I guess not. Just Zach. He's the only one that saved my bacon. Anyways, Gioia. Quick little history lesson. Shit was FA'd by Christian Core in 2008. Given 8C V15 because reasons. Repeated by Adamandra in 2011, who upgraded to 8C+, then sent again by Nale, damn it Nale, come back, Hukataival in 2014, who neglected to comment on the grade. At some point, Christian then changed his mind, agreed 8C+ made sense, and then some kind of weird shit went down. So basically, when Daniel Woods and Dave Graham went to try the problem, a bit of rock broke that revealed a new foothold. What then happened is that Christian came in and used glue so that the foothold would no longer be usable, saying he felt the problem should be restored to its original state given its historic significance as the world's first 8C+/V16. Whether or not you agree with that, it did lead to both Dave Graham and Daniel Woods losing interest in the problem, and for the whole thing to go completely unrepeated until Niki Cheria did it in 2020, also neglecting to opine on the grade, as Niki tends to do. And then 2021, when Elias Yagnema, yes, the guy who just proposed the world's first 9A plus V18, sent and downgraded to a fucking slash grade, 8C/plus, for no fucking reason. Just say 8C, Jesus Christ. It's not that goddamn... Anyways, he found a knee bar. And I think that about covers it. Will be cool to see how Stefano does on that thing. Hopefully he'll send. I think he's been trying it for quite a while. So excited for that, man. He's more than strong enough to climb 8C+ boulders, even though he does not believe in himself for whatever reason. And yeah, man, last things. Go watch Felipe Camargo's movie on Abaporu. I think that's how you pronounce it. Brazil's first ever 9B/515B just came out, as well as Jorge de Arroyo's send of Sleeping Lion. So yeah, you guys got shit to watch. Go do that. Links down in the description. That's pretty much it. I got you. Anyways. But yeah, that was some climbing news. Not a lot of sendage, as I said before, other than Zach. Thank fuck. But yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Don't forget to comment with your opinions and thoughts. Thanks as always for watching. Love reading what everybody has to say. That was all over the goddamn place. I don't know what I'm doing. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Enjoy the weekend. And as always, go climb some stuff.